Racetrack Tracker. First things first, print 1 or 2 copies of this for yourself, because I absolutely want you to learn about this tracker and put it into practice. Make it useful. So this kind of tracker, the Racetrack, is perfect for the projects that are streaks. You're trying to build consistency. You're doing the same kind of repetitive thing day after day. Here it's designed like a racetrack, starting at 1 up here, going around to 31. It is designed to be a month. It is sort of designed to be starting at the top of the month. If you are mid-month, don't let this stop you. Just, mark a line wherever your starting point is and go from there. Do not let any of these tools slow you down. So important. Now, what is important about a streak type project is that it tends to work best when it is a discrete, relatively small, clear action. You know when you've succeeded that day, and you can fill in each one of these spaces when you have succeeded by doing the thing that particular day. So you want something that's more consistent. You wouldn't want it to be doing something for an hour and a half one day and 10 minutes the next day. So it is useful when it is something that has some consistency. Now, for me, if I wanted to work out consistently with my beloved MetaQuest headset using Supernatural app, ta-da, fantastic, it could be I want to earn at least 100 points in the app, as an example. So, maybe one day I get exactly 100 points, another day I might get 1,000 points, but I'm clear on what qualifies filling in one of these spaces. Now, I like this racetrack shape because it creates that sense of closure. It is a loop. Now, you could certainly, like our classic sticker charts, just grab a wall calendar. Absolutely. My feeling is you can fill in every day in that wall calendar, and then you flip it, and there's a whole nother month. I do like that it is a loop. It has inherent closure. So you get to the end of that month, celebrate what you've accomplished with this unbroken streak, and then you can decide, conscious effort, conscious decision, do I want to print out another page and go again? Now, don't forget to stop and celebrate this accomplishment and recognize that the proof you've just created for yourself, that you can do this. You have done it. You can see it because every one of those spaces is filled. So again, streak-like projects, clarity on what each day's win is, and this tends to work best when it is the same kind of repetitive task. So there's no question whether you were doing what you needed to do to put the sticker in the space. Now, let's go into a little more detail. And here, let me pop over there. Really simply, what we have here in this tracker, like I said, are the days. If you wanted to do 31 of the same thing over and over, you could use it that way, but I do like this shape for something that is time-based. Again, if your month has less than 30 days, those are gimmies, just fill those in for yourself. You've got them. Now, first thing we want to do is state clearly what is our project, what is our goal, and you can make it as clear and basic as you want, or you could have some fun with it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it a kind of a spy name because it could be anything. Mission Streak Keeper. Ha ha ha. It's getting a little meta there. So whatever your goal is, whatever it is you're focusing on, put that in the center area here. You never forget exactly what it is you're working on. Ta-da. I divided the space inside this racetrack into 4 areas. Now, truly, you can do whatever you like with those 4 spaces. You could choose to do nothing with those 4 spaces. Whatever works for you. This is a tool, and you choose how you use it. I do want to give you 6 different options. That sounds like a lot, but you'll see where I'm going. You'll see what the general pattern is, the idea is behind these spaces. And for a lot of these, it is about sitting down, naming your goal, having this physical piece of paper that's going to keep you on track, literally in this case, and that you can put some thought into what it is you want to do, why you're doing this. So let's go through options about what to do with these spaces. As I describe them, just notice which ones resonate with you, which ones don't, and choose one. Just choose one. I would not recommend trying to Frankenstein different ones together. Just pick one of them. And I'm only sharing 6 of them because it shows that again, tools can be used in different ways, and you can modify the tool to work for you. That is what is most important. So here is something that is pretty darn straightforward. I like to think of this one. This one I think really does. This is for the folks who are tuning into their motivation specifically. So in this first area, thinking about what is kind of going around from here around the racetrack to here, this first area is in this space answering for yourself, what is motivating you? What is behind your decision to make this happen? That's it. No right answer, no wrong answer, just taking some time to think about what is it that's motivating me. And I hope that you're able to be clear and honest with yourself. Now, it could be if you are going to post this in some public space, you don't want people to see this. If that's the case, do this journaling in some space where you can tuck these ideas into a drawer, close a book, whatever you need to do to respect your privacy. Maybe not be as transparent, depends on where you live, what you do, what your deal is, but really good questions to answer for yourself up front. Ideally, if you can be honest and clear with yourself on this page and you have it in front of you, all of that is going to help motivate you, inspire you, keep you focused to complete this mission. So what is motivating me? The second, in this area, anything around the goal in detail. If this is kind of my silly, spy name, anything you need to write about what success means in this goal. What is winning? What is completing? What do these spaces look like? So any detail that's going to really bring to life what it is that moves you from one space to the next. Next, in the third space, going around the racetrack, is how will I keep focused and motivated? So how will I might start here about what's bringing me to doing this project. Here, it's how am I going to keep focused and motivated throughout this time, throughout this month. And then lastly, in that fourth spot, and I definitely hope that this absolutely ties to motivating you, how do I want to feel day 31 or 30 or 29 or 28, depending on what month it is? How do I want to feel on the final day of this racetrack? Future focused, getting that sense of how you want to feel. And that could certainly be, I think it's great to kind of notice what are the kind of thoughts you want to be thinking. Are there physical sensations in your body? Are there things you want to be able to say at the end of that racetrack as you've closed this loop? So observations about where you want to be when you fill in that last space. Just for the sake of giving this first one a name, let's call it the fire starter. That sounds a little dangerous. The fire keeper, like street keeper. This one's about the fire, the motivation, getting really clear on what's motivating you and what is going to keep you motivated. So consider this the fire option. Let's call it that. For option 2, let's make this the logistics version, the planner version. This is great for somebody who wants more detail about exactly how this is going to work. Now, very simply, we're going to use these different spaces. And similarly, in this area, well, certainly, if we want to go real specific, parallel to the last one we just did, this first area, we could put our why. Why is it we're doing this? In the second area, much like the goal in detail, what exactly does this entail? I think here, this could be when and where, or where and when and how, some real details about exactly what this looks like. Are you doing some habit where it has a specific location or a specific time of day? Is there anything about the steps or specifics about how this is going to be done that's worth capturing. And so important, who? And that who could be who's going to support you, or who is important. Why? Maybe the part of your why is, who are you doing this for? What is motivating you to move around, accomplish this complete streak of the racetrack? So, option 2, logistics. Now for option 3, this is called carrots, and this is, what is my reward when I complete week 1? What is my reward when I complete week 2? What is my reward when I complete week 3? And what is my final celebration? So if you are somebody who works well, working towards rewards, that may be exactly how you want to use the 4 spaces on your racetrack. Let's call number 4 the curiosity option. This is really good when you're not sure how you're going to feel about this. You're not really clear on answering things up front for yourself. So this is a way to adapt this tool so that you're using it more for being open and curious and noting your experiences in those 4 spaces as you go, versus filling this in before you start. So very simply, let's say in this first space, you check in with yourself as you round this corner. Any observations you're noticing about reaching this goal? What this feels like, what's happening for you, thoughts, observations for that first section. Now, perfect for that midway point is, are there any changes or course corrections you want to make to what you're doing? Like, oh, I started here thinking I knew what this is going to be, but now halfway through, we need some adjustments. So again, this curiosity approach, great when you don't know up front. You're open, you're observant, you're willing to make changes as you go, tweak, right? Fantastic. Then we could look at the same idea here and go in the right direction. There we go. More observations. What are you noticing? 3/4 of the way along the racetrack. And then finally, at the very end, great opportunity just to, in general, think about what are those reflections or lessons learned from this experience. Great way to tie a bow. Again, more of that sense of closure by reaching the end of this loop. And what can be absolutely fantastic is when we're using the information in this area that you're writing down for yourself, that you are getting an opportunity to think about what happened, what was the change that happened for me, how do I feel about it, certainly celebrate it, fantastic, unless it was absolutely terrible and you never want to do it again. But this can absolutely inform perhaps the next racetrack. If you want to repeat this particular streak, what have you learned? What do you see across the entire page that you can write about here? What do you notice about the whole process that is worth repeating or worth avoiding the next time? So much like that simple creature in the introduction, what in this process have you been drawn towards and you want more of? Or what is scary or dangerous or things you want to avoid or move away from? Option 5, my friends, I'll call this a vision board. This is this is not particularly my style, but I think it's worth mentioning. Definitely works if you don't have a lot of specificity behind what you're doing, but you know what is going to keep you moving around this racetrack is things that are affirmations or quotes. It could be somebody who's a role model, who's done the thing you are looking to do. So this could be something more about what are those phrases, those quotes, those examples that you know are going to be the fuel you need, that vision that you're looking forward to, those folks you were looking towards, those wise words you're looking towards. So your 5th option is the vision board. Option number 6, or option number 6, or option number 6. This is going to be the experimenter. Also very good. This is a lot like the reflection one, where you're noticing as you go. It's a little bit of a hybrid between a couple of these, actually. We're not going to get hung up in comparison. Really simply here, this is a bit like going into a science experiment, going into just being open to what's going to happen. And here you can write how you feel at the beginning of this thing. What is the before state? What does that mean to you? It could be you write sort of a hypothesis. Here's the idea I'm testing out. Then, as you go, you could use this space for anything you're noticing in your process that you want to keep. You can use this space for anything you're noticing in your process you want to change. And here in the final place, what is the after? What is the, oh, that's so shiny. What does that after look like to you? So this could be I'm setting up this question, this hypothesis. Here's what I think is going to happen. Then you can revisit it and see if that is the case. It could simply be, this is what I feel like before, or what I'm noticing or observing before. This is what I'm noticing, feeling, observing after. So there you have 6 options. Pick one, just pick one. Don't get into analysis paralysis. Just notice which one just kind of felt right. Just do a gut check. Don't get too stuck in your head. Great thing is you can start over. You can print out another copy of this. You can change your mind. It is okay. But most important thing is this is a tool to be used. I want you to use it. So pick one of those 6. Decide what you want to do and get going. And then at this point, again, this is one of those things I kind of feel like everyone knows, but you know, you're going to pick some way that you're going to track around this racetrack. Now, it happened that I was designing this so that it would work with these dots, these little black dots. Now, this is a really common sticker size in America. Most often people use it for color coding things. They're 3/4 of an inch. I'm not sure what that is in millimeters. 3/4 of an inch. It's probably around 18 millimeters, if I had to guess. So this is just super simple. It's really basic. I know that isn't sexy. I know it's not sexy, but what's great here is very quickly, with nothing but a sheet of stickers, you start getting a visual sense of completion because of this high contrast of the black dots against the white piece of paper. You could make it any color you like. Again, no analysis paralysis. I know there's lots of different options, but very simply, I did design the scale of this to work with a really, 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 really common size of dot because I want you to use this tool and use it well. Now, you can get more playful. Stickers, my friends, anything you like. Condensation from my drink is making my stickers squishy. It could be, you know, this is what's going to encourage you, that love. In my example, one of my examples from teaching this was sugar-free September, and you use donuts. So, you know, you could be deciding that being playful, I'm going to fill in a donut each of these days. Or it could be, we're filling in these delightful hearts each of these days. Or it could very simply be, you don't need any darn stickers, as fun as stickers are. You can use any darn thing you like and just fill it in, right? Those of us who love coloring, great option. If you do take this option, I do think it feels more accomplished if you're using a darker, brighter color. If this was some really light color, you wouldn't get the same sense of oomph as seeing that track get fully filled in as you go. And lastly, with this Racetrack Tracker, hopefully you're chomping at the bit, you're absolutely ready to try something, try that streak for yourself, make it physical, make it visual. Lastly, the last idea is, where is it useful for this tracker to live, to be, where should this tracker live to be most useful to you? There we go. It could be that it stays up, especially if you fill in these 4 areas and they're sort of done. Could be really useful to hang it up on a wall because you don't necessarily have to take it down, up and down and up and down. If you're doing something where it's more observational, maybe you don't want it affixed to a surface. Maybe it's going to be, you know, sitting somewhere up on your desk where you can see it all the time. Certainly, if you are on the go, a really simple thing you could do is just make sure you've got actually I'm going to do this. I'm a big fan of being able to tuck things away. So you could fold this in half. You could add your stickers, clip them. And now this tracker is complete and ready to go for wherever you go. So this could live in a folder, a planner, anything like that. So use this planner. Again, before you walk away from, you can certainly pause or stop the video, but before you get up and do the next thing you are going to do, please, 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 to make the best use of this, choose a challenge, choose one of those 6 just to try it out, find a marker, stickers, whatever works for you, and try this tool. See how it works for you. And like I said, use this tracker in good health.